like each one of you to start off imagining a person that you cannot stand. Think about someone who you find them really annoying and you have a really hard time dealing with them. Okay? Well, thank you. But have you ever thought about why you find them so annoying? Why is it so hard for you to just deal with this person? Why is it so hard for you to understand the reason behind their actions? Why is it hard for you to communicate with them? And how do we change that? How do we learn how to communicate with people who just function in different ways than we do? How do we learn how to understand them? I have a theory about this, and today I want to share it with you. I grew up in a beautiful country called Finland. I love Finland a lot. Finland is amazing. It's beautiful. It's incredibly fascinating and it's so unique. There are so many ideas and things that you can find in Finland that you can't find anywhere else. But Finland is also very, very cold. Well, in the summer, it's beautiful. It's amazing. It looks like this. It's incredible. You can walk out in the forest and you can just hear the songs of the birds. You can see small animals building their nests. The sun rises and it never sets. It's incredible. But in the winter it gets cold. It gets very cold. And it gets really dark. When I went home for winter break, it was almost negative 30 degrees. And the sun didn't rise until really late in the day. In some parts of Finland, the sun doesn't rise at all in winter. In Finnish, we call that kaamos. I'm used to this. This is my world. But this is the reason when I came here to Italy, when I came to this international school with people from all over the world, I was shocked by the heat. Well, yeah, there was about 25 degrees temperature difference when I stepped out of the airplane, but that's not what shocked me the most. That's not the heat that was incredibly new to me. That wasn't the biggest difference. Because what shocked me was the heat and the passion with which the Italians spoke to each other, and with which people from all over the world spoke to each other. They were waving their hands, they were shouting, they were speaking with so many different types of voice. They were walking around, they were moving all over. They were hugging and kissing more than I even thought was possible. And I had never seen anything like that before. I had never experienced anything like that. I didn't know how to react when somebody came up to me to hug me. I didn't know what to do. But then, eventually, my non-verbal language started changing. Now, most of you have probably heard the term non-verbal communication before. This is a term for pretty much everything we say or do that doesn't lie in the precise words that we choose. So, non-verbal communication includes gestures, it includes positions we choose, looks, tones, anything we do that is a part of our communication. But the nonverbal communication, it's an enormous part of everything we communicate to people. Because the truth is, only about 7% of everything people understand of us comes from the words that we use. The remaining 93% lies in our nonverbal communication. It lies in the gestures that we use, in the tones, in the rhythm of our speech, in the melody, in the looks we give people, in our body language. And this is so, so important. Because the truth is, we don't need words. We don't need words to make people understand what we want them to know. We don't need words to make somebody understand what we feel. Now, all doesn't just depend on our culture or our previous experience, but it varies a lot from individual to individual. It varies a lot depending on your personality. It varies a lot depending on who you are. And to understand this, there's a color scheme. A color scheme just explaining all of the non-verbal language we use. This color scheme mainly uses the colors red, green, yellow, and blue. The main colors, colors you all know. All of these colors represent different types of personalities, different personality traits, different ways of communicating with each other. And the truth is, each and every one of us has a part of every color in us. But we all have one main color, one dominant color, that more or less defines the way we communicate with other people, the way we understand other people. And to start understanding each other, we need to understand the colors. The first color, red, stands for dominance. Red is the color of a typical leader. A red person wants to have control. A red person wants to be in charge. If you have a red personality, you want to have your facts straight, know the details, and then lead the situation. You need to have the situation under control. If you're a yellow person, on the other hand, you want to have an interaction with people. You want to talk to them. You want to actually discuss things with them. A yellow person has influence, and they're very, very convincing. Because yellow people, they want to know your point of view, but they also want to talk to you. They're very optimistic, and they love attention. They love being at the center of attention. Blue is the color of planning. A blue person is very systematic and wants to know the greater picture. A blue person wants to have details, be able to build up their own idea of a situation and get the bigger picture of it. Green is the color of steadiness. A green person is very calm, very harmonic. A green person wants to know how you feel. A green person wants to understand you, and they make you feel safe because they want to help you. A green person makes you feel like you're at home. They like spending time with people they love, and they love being around other people. They love helping you. They love talking to you, and they make you feel calm. Now, if there are this many personalities, if we are this different, then how can we possibly talk to each other? How can we even communicate? How could we ever talk to somebody who functions that differently from what we do? Well, that's not about you. It doesn't depend on you at all. It's all about the person you're talking to. It's all about who you're trying to communicate with. And we need to understand this. We need to look for these colors not in ourselves, but in the other person. And to understand what color the other person is, you need to ask them some kind of question. For example, you can ask them to tell you more about themselves. If you do this, then a red person will give you facts. A red person will tell you their grades, the time you've been working in a certain place, numbers, clear facts, things you can just look at and get the exact picture. A yellow person will tell you about something they like, something they enjoy doing, or people they enjoy spending their time with, or anything that they love doing. A green person would tell you about their friends, their home, their family, people they love. And a blue person would ask you to further develop your question. What do you mean by that? What is it exactly that you want me to tell you more about? Now, when you use this to get the answer, to find out what color they are, you need to understand how to communicate with them. So if you do this, you want to first, for red people, okay, you need to talk to red people in the way they can receive information. So, for a red person, you go straight to the main point. You give them the facts, you give them a clear idea of what's happening, you give the meaning short, you give deadlines, and then you keep the deadlines. Simple. For a yellow person, you want to discuss with them. You want to ask them questions. What do you think about this? What's your point of view? What do you want to do about this? You want to make them a part of the conversation. I mean, don't bore them with facts, that doesn't really matter. You have to talk to them. You can ask them interesting questions, give them time to speak to, and just make them a part of what you're saying. For a blue person, you want to give them the broader view. Give them all of the main points, and then let them create their own idea of the situation. Let them get all of the facts, give them written facts, give them graphs, and then give them the main points. Give them the bigger picture. If you're talking to a green person, you want to go over things very slowly, simply. Make it easy for them to understand you. If you're talking to a green person, you want to repeat yourself. A green person needs repetition. A green person needs time to think, set many meetings, talk over things, think about them together, ask them how they feel about it. How do you feel about this? I'll go over it again so that everybody can understand me. A green person likes repetition. Okay, but now if you're this different, then already you know what to do. This is what you need to do. You need to first look at the other person. Look at them. What kind of person are they? Read them. Okay, this person is this color. Well, when you know what color they are, you can adjust your own behavior to it. You can start behaving in a way that they can understand. And when you do this, you can finally say something and they can receive it. You can effectively communicate. This is what I believe that all of us have to do. We need to start looking at the people around us. Don't just talk the way you would. Because to somebody, you are that annoying person. You are the person they can't stand. So you need to think about the way you communicate. We all need to start looking at the colors in each other. That's the only way that we can work together against progress. So, let's go color the world.